Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my budget-friendly Aquaforce deck. The other one was not budget-friendly because aside from the 4 Sentinels, it was running 4 Transcore Dragons. And Transcore Dragon is probably the most expensive Aquaforce card right now. Although I don't really know why. He's a pretty good break ride. He puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. But I don't think he's the greatest break ride there is. But anyway, for the budget deck, it's basically a Cobalt Wave Dragon deck, and I think you guys are going to like it because it's a pretty fun deck to play as, and it does pretty good. The starter is the new Aquaforce starter from set 13, Bubble Edge Dracokid. This fixes the original Dracokid that they had. That guy, you put him in the soul, you give an Aquaforce, I think it was like 1,000 attack, and then if it hit on the 4th battle or more, you got to draw a card. This one, if you just make it to the 4th battle and you attack, you get to draw the card. So they basically fixed the limitation that the original one had and made it a lot better. So now it's actually worth running this over, say, Officer Cadet Eric. Because Officer Cadet Eric is still probably one of the best starters for Aquaforce. Next, 4 heals. 4 criticals. I just put 2 different ones to confuse my opponent and make them think that I'm running 8 or 6 or some weird number. Well, in reality, there's only 4. Because you gotta kind of bluff your opponent with Aquaforce. Aquaforce is a very technical deck to play. It's not an easy deck to play as, so you gotta think a lot of your moves through. It requires a lot of strategizing and planning. So it's a pretty fun deck for those that want a challenge. So like I said, 4 criticals. You gotta play those mind games, confuse them. Confuse those cookie cutter decks like those Revengers and those Link Joker decks and those Kagero decks. So next I'm playing 6 Stan. So 2-2-2. So again, just try to kind of throw the opponent off. They don't really know what the grade ratio is. It'll be very hard to figure it out. But it is a weird one, as you can see. It's 4 critical, 4 heal, 6 Stan, and then 2 draw. So just 2 draw. Originally I was running like all Stan, draw, and heal, or Stan and critical and heal and no draw. But what I found is that with Aquaforce, you want to have at least a little bit of draw power, just something to give them that, you know, that slight speed boost so they're not super slow. Because they gotta stay one step ahead of their opponent if they want to be able to let their deck move the way it's supposed to, or play the way it's supposed to. Next, 4 Emerald Shield Paschal. This is the original one from when they debuted with Maelstrom. I like this one more. Next, 4 Tier Knight Theo, 8k Vanilla, because Cobalt Wave is a 10k Vanguard. 2 Battle Siren Dorothea, same reason, because Cobalt Wave is a 10k Vanguard. So you need to put some pressure. You need to hit those magic numbers. Next, 2 Mercenary Brave Shooter. He's like a 10k grade 1 on first attack or possibly second attack with no boost. Then 2 Shallow Sweeper. New card. It's technically a draw card, so I just left it in here. It's a good 7k boost, and it's one of those discard a card, draw a card. That's a grade 1 lineup. For the grade 2s, 4 Storm Rider Basil. Some people can get away with running 3. I put in 4 just to make sure I'd be able to have a Storm Rider, because this deck is it's very important that Cobalt Wave gets to attack 4th. So 4 of him. 2 Titan of the Beam Rifle. You can run either him or Advanced Party Brave Shooter. Originally I was actually running Advanced Party Brave Shooter. I would probably run him again if I was running the starter for him that's like 8k, but I'm not. And I found that Titan of the Beam Rifle is technically more consistent. He's only 11k, whereas Mercenary is 12k, but he is far more consistent if you hit a stand trigger. and you have like 3 or 4 or whatever rested rear guards. So he will at least be attacking for 16k unboosted with a trigger on him. Whereas the other guy would only probably be 14 because he would only be 9 plus 5, and this guy's like 11 plus 5. So yeah, he's slightly more consistent. I mean, it's either him or Coral Assault or Mercenary or Brave Shooter. With Coral Assault, you have to get to 3rd battle. This guy can be on. This guy, if you have to, can be the 2nd attack. So I guess I'll show you real quick. What I mean is, like, this would be a column right here. And I guess we could just put this, just put some random stuff over here, I guess. Just put whatever here. So it would be like 1st attack, 2nd attack, and you know, like 3rd, 4th. So something like that. And then you hit a stand and he stands up so he can attack. So that's what I mean. So he's better than Twin Brave Shooter in that sense. So anyway, yeah, 2 of him. And then 2 Tier Knight Lucas. Because the deck is not very counterblast heavy, unless you have to ride your alternate Vanguard, which I'll get into shortly. It's actually Navalgazer Dragon. But yeah, he lets, again, because there's low draw triggers, there's only 2 of them. Lucas helps you use up that counterblast. And he is very, it's easy to get his effect, right? It's just give him some easy cards. Arc of Force is difficult enough to play as, so give him some easy cards. 2, Battle Siren Callista, because she lets you get some stands in there, and she powers up that the card she stands by 5,000. The nice thing about her is her effect can be used as a Vanguard or rear guard. And then 1 Tier Knight Valeria, just my 4th one that I did not need for my Tetra Drive Dragon deck, so I threw it over in here. Fuck the grade 2 lineup. For grade 3s, 2 Storm Rider Diamantes. A lot of people don't like this guy. I like this guy because he is the only Storm Rider that can actually effectively pressure most decks out there, with the exception of a Cross Ride. Because when he attacks first by himself, he attacks for 11k. So he just gives you another pressure. The only other card that can attack for 11k is that guy. So ideally, it would be like 11k, switch, 11k. So you get 2 attacks to that Vanguard, put some pressure on them that way. So 2 Diamantes. The only bad thing about him is you never want to ride him, because riding him is just really bad. Next, 2 Navalgazer Dragon. This is my backup Vanguard. I always like this card. He works extremely well with rear guards that have to get their effect on 4th. So either Valeria, Callista, or even Algos, although Algos isn't in this deck. He would be another good choice if you're running Navalgazer Dragon. So extremely good with these cards, because he attacks, he gets his effect on 3rd attack, they get their effect on 4th attack. So yeah, he's just a really good, solid 10k Vanguard from back in the day. And then the last Vanguard is Cobalt Wave Dragon. Cobalt Wave Dragon is kind of like, he's an improved last card Revan. The only downside is he's 10k instead of 11k. If this was an 11k Vanguard, this would be a very good card, and it would probably be worth quite a bit more than it currently is. So let me know what you guys think of this deck. I definitely would consider this the budget deck compared to my Tetra Drive Dragon deck. So let me know in the comments below what you think, what you would change, because I'm open to suggestions on this deck, because I'm trying to figure out how to make budget decks as powerful and effective as I can. So as always guys, rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks.